Welcome to the Letting Go University. What is a miracle? The Course in Miracles has been taking us through this for, 345 days now, or whatever it is. I don't see things as they really are. As long as I'm using my physical eyes and physical senses, I have no idea what's actually going on. And yet I'm basing all of my judgments and all of my opinions and all of my wantings and desires and fears on what I'm seeing, sensing with physical senses. And so a miracle, it says here, is a correction. It looks on everything the mind has been seeing and projecting and imagining and all this stuff, and just lets us know that's not true. That's not what's really going on. A miracle comes with a shift in perception. And so, God, help me to see this differently. Simple prayer, a really good prayer. God, help me to see this differently. What's actually happening here? What am I not seeing? And it's really a simple shift, but this is where a previous lesson comes in. I will not value what is valueless. I have been valuing the way I'm seeing things, holding on to it, defending it. And so all it takes for the miracle is for me to let go of that. Let go of seeing myself as a small separate body, vulnerable and weak. Let go of my opinions about how I can't, how I'm limited and restrained, and how the universe isn't generous and provisionary. But I'm valuing that stuff. I really, through fear that if I let go of it, that I'm not going to be okay. When the truth is, letting go, forgiving these perceptions, letting go of them, forgiving these limitations, surrendering them, giving them up, leads to far more than okay. But as long as I'm afraid, and as long as I'm prideful, and as long as I'm holding on, valuing what is valueless, I can pray for all the higher perception, I can pray for all the miracles, but I'm holding on to what is valueless, to what is not true. So when I ask for a miracle, could I let go? When you ask for a miracle, could you let go of your perception of the situation, of your beliefs and programs about what's going on? Could you let go, forgive these perceptions, forgive these programs, forgive these beliefs, and experience a correction? Experience in that window of your willingness to open up and stop insisting on smallness. Experience a miracle. So, you want a miracle? Would you like to experience one of these miracle things? They're happening all the time. We just don't even really notice it. A small shift in perception could change your whole life. A small shift from claiming smallness, weakness, and powerlessness to claiming your divine inheritance could change the world. So take anything, let's do a release on this. Take anything that you would like to experience a miracle with. Any situation at all. Just pick a situation you'd like to experience a miracle with. And then make this simple request. God, Father, Christ, Holy Spirit, I ask for a miracle. I ask for a change in perspective. I ask for a correction here. Okay. Now notice if there's any holding on to your perspective of the situation that you'd like a miracle in. Any defending it or fighting it and claiming it's real? Any valuing it? It's okay. If there's any holding on to the old perspective, holding on to the situation as it is, claiming it's real, just notice that. Or any fear of letting it go. And could you simply allow that feeling? Just stay with it for a moment. And could you let go, give up valuing, holding on to the situation as you perceived it, to allow for a correction, a miracle? You don't have to. Yes or no is fine. Would you let go of your perspective of the situation, valuing it, holding on to it? Just would you let go of that to allow for a correction, a miracle? When could you let go? And allow for the correction, the miracle. What is a miracle? Simply release from error. Simple as that. And could you take, could be the same situation, could be something else, anywhere where you're choosing a miracle or wanting a miracle. Anywhere at all. Somebody's sick, you're broke, any situation at all. And just to start, could you ask God, your Father, that's the Holy Spirit, the Christ, I ask for a miracle. I ask for a correction. Just asking. And now that you've asked, could you notice any holding on to how you've been seeing this situation? Any valuing your perspective about it, your opinions about it, your thoughts about it? And nothing to stack guilt and sin on. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, so I've been holding on to this view of things, this perspective. Are you willing to relinquish that for a miracle? Could you notice any feeling behind that perspective, how you've been seeing it? Could you allow that feeling and just ignore the thoughts just for now, just letting this feeling unpack? This feeling is behind many misperceptions, many errors. And to fight this feeling claims it's real. Could you just allow this feeling to release? Could you release this feeling and release your old perspective on the situation, valuing it, holding on to it, that you might experience a correction, a miracle. Would you be willing to release this feeling, that perspective, those thoughts, to see it differently, to experience a correction, a miracle? When could you release, let go of valuing the old perspective, the error, the feeling? Open the door for the miracle. You're never going to be forced to let go of holding on to a perspective or valuing a belief or a thought. Love doesn't force anything. You're free. But it's always on tap by request, by choice. What is a miracle? It's simply a choice to let go. A shift in perspective, a forgiving something you believed in that isn't even true. So can you notice a situation where you would like a miracle, where you're ready for a correction, a new perspective? And just taking that situation just as it seems to be. No need to edit. No need to make wrong of it. Could you simply ask Holy Spirit, ask God, ask the Christ to see it differently, to experience a miracle, a correction? And now that you've asked, could you notice if there's any holding on to how you've been seeing it before? Any valuing that? Any claiming that's real? You're tapped in to this infinite power, this infinite field. You're a part of it. What you hold on to, what you claim is real, okay. Dream on. So just notice if there's any holding on to that. And could you notice the feeling that's going behind holding on to that situation as you've been perceiving it? Perhaps fear, anger, guilt. Don't really need to label the feeling. Could you open up and allow the feeling and just let the thoughts drift by? Ignoring the thoughts will greatly help you to experience miracles and forgiveness and letting go. You just open up and allow this feeling behind holding on to some perception you don't even like. And could you surrender that feeling, that perception, to God? Just let go of valuing it, let go of holding on to it, let go of that feeling, surrender it to God. To allow for a change, a correction, a miracle. Would you give up? Would you surrender, holding on to, valuing the old perspective of that situation? Would you surrender that you might experience the grace of a miracle, a correction. When could you give up valuing, holding on to the perception that's false to experience the miracle? You never have to. It's always just a choice. Since a miracle is really just letting go of perceptions of things that aren't even there. Just notice where you're valuing, holding on to, claiming suffering, pain, fear, things you're afraid of, things you're bad about, guilt and sin, things you're mad about, angry about, resentful about, prideful about, sad about. Notice the valuing of holding on to that point of view, that perspective from the physical senses, which miss reality. And could you just ask for a miracle, ask for a correction, a shift in perspective, and forgive the old, surrender it, let it go. It's always available. How many misperceptions throughout the day based on physical senses? So this could be a constant practice. You can take any Course in Miracles lesson and go all the way with it if you really go into it and release and forgive at great depth. Thank you so much for releasing with us. Thanks for letting go. Thanks for bringing all these miracles to the world as you forgive your past perceptions and allow an experience of correction, of reality. Have the best day you can.